What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. My name's Taylor. I'm the owner of Terry Gems and Jewelry, and today I'm faceting a really pretty Montana sapphire. It is a gorgeous blue and very clear, and I'm super excited to cut it. Let me show you this piece a bit closer up. This is an untreated Missouri River sapphire that I purchased from a miner in Montana, and it is a lovely light blue color. I see a few fractures in there, but nothing that I can't work around. Here it is in some outdoor lighting. The color of this one is just gorgeous. I'm taking this sapphire over to my Ultratech V5 faceting machine. I've already got my first lap on the wheel. It's a 320 grit, I believe. I'm gonna do a bit of rough pre-shaping on that to get a flat spot on the stone to dop on and shape up the edges just a little bit. Already see the little bit of a flat face I'm adding to this. Wow, and some like shine at the bottom. It's beautiful. All right. That's what I get for recording over paying attention. It's fine. This is why I work with sapphires. I'm very clumsy and they are very hard and hard to break. Here is what the gem is looking like after a little bit of pre-shaping. I took off as little as possible because I want to try to keep this gem as big as possible. So I just added a little bit to the sides and made enough of a flat plane on the table that I can dop on. And that stone is ready to go. Let's get to dopping. I forgot to take a starting weight for this gem, but after a bit of pre-shaping, it is at 4.35 carats. So I'm gonna assume it started around 4.6 to 4.8. I'll try to roughly use that for calculating my yield at the end of the video. The next step is attaching this gem to a brass dop. I'll speed it up and show you guys how I get the stone ready to attach to the machine. I'm actually going to take a couple quick breaks to kind of explain what I'm doing. Right now I'm trying to decide what size dop I want to use for this gem. So it measures 7.0 millimeters wide, and I want a gem that's a little bit bigger than half of that. So yeah, this is a 4 millimeter dop, so this should be perfect. It's looking a little bit big, but I don't want to take much more off the sides anyways, and using a dop that's a little bit too big sometimes holds me accountable to keep the stone big. All right, let's get back to it. If any of you are watching my videos with the goal of actually learning faceting and you want me to slow down and really explain the dopping process and make a full video of it and make some more tutorial style videos, leave a comment and let me know. I'm not really sure what everyone is here for, and I'd love to know if you're just here to, see some gems, if you're looking to buy gems, or if you want to learn how to do this yourself. Let me know. This gem is dopped and looking good. I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the machine now and finally start faceting. I switched my 325 grit lap out for a 600 grit lap so that we can do the cutting a little bit softer now. I'm going to start with the girdle or sides of the gem to set the rough shape. Yeah, I'll get back to you when that's done. This is roughly the pattern I'm going to be following. I'm going to just steal the index gear numbers used to make the step cut and then kind of improvise with my own angles. Since this is a flat stone, I'll probably have to put a table in the bottom too. and it's easier just to improvise than to try to add a table to a pavilion like that. The girdle is cut. The shape of that gem is looking exactly how I like it. And I really didn't lose much from any of the sides. This is gonna be a huge gem once it's done, and I'm super excited. Next, I'm gonna cut the pavilion or bottom facets of the stone with the same 600 grit lap I've been using, and I'm gonna cut it to these angles, 45, 42, and 39 to maximize the sparkle and the refractive index of sapphire. There is the first step of pavilion facets. That is at 45 degrees. So I'm gonna go in and add 42 and 39 next, and I'm gonna hope that it takes out that little rough section and I'm able to bring this gem to an even point instead of a table. I'll kind of speed through those steps and just show you the results, but fingers crossed I get a full cut gem out of this. Well, I ended up adding 5 tiers of facets to the pavilion. These bottom 2 won't be ideal for the refractive index, but I like the look of a lot of steps, and I think I'd prefer that to just a flat window in the bottom. Let me show you this gem. Yeah, like the more facets the merrier on a stone like this. They're a bit uneven. I'm gonna have to clean them up in pre-polish, but I wanted to at least roughly get them all added on there. And I saved just enough space to cut the crown facets. Next, I'm gonna switch out this 600 grit lap for my bat lap with 3000 grit pre-polish embedded in it. I'm done with the pre-polish on this gem. I got all the facets evened out nicely, and next I am going to polish it with 60,000 grit on another bat lap. I'm also going to switch to macro view and show you this a bit closer so you can fully see the difference between pre-polish and polish. I'm actually going to kind of pause to explain this step. This is a piece of lab ruby that I use to embed the 60,000 grit into my polishing wheel so that it doesn't scratch up my stone. This is how that goes. I like to take it over here and wipe it off between, and just do this a couple times. Beautiful. That took so much longer than I thought it would with those huge facets on there, but it is polished and looking beautiful. Let me switch back to macro and show you the difference between pre-polish and polish once they're done. This is what it looks like pre-polished. You can see into the gem, but it's still a bit hazy and streaky. Now that it's polished, you can't see any of that frostiness on the surface of the facets. The only flaws in there are the internal ones. That's so cool to see these like cracks from the side too. Next, I am setting this gem free, and I'm going to take it back over to the dopping station so I can switch the dops and cut the crown facets or the top of the stone. If you noticed that the background changed, I got this tapestry for my workspace, all with gems that I cut and drew. That's a Probst one over there. That too. Cool. So for a stone like this, I'm going to use a V-dop to transfer, and I'm going to try to use one that is as big as possible to keep the stone stable. This one looks perfect. It won't quite go over the edges, but it'll get close. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with the dopping process. This gem has been successfully redopped. It's time to take it back to the machine and cut the crown facets or the top of the stone. Before I start cutting the stone, I have to realign it to make sure that the facets on the top actually line up with the facets on the bottom. So to do that, I'm going to use a sticky note and a Sharpie, and I'm going to color on one of the facets and then wipe it on the sticky note until it wipes clean. There it is. There is a perfectly wiped clean facet, so that means this stone is realigned and ready to start cutting. For the crown angles, I think I'm just going to keep it to a simple 40, 30, 20 since I have so much space on the stone. I know I'll be able to get the 40 angle on there. That should be perfect. I'm going to start cutting with my 600 grit lap, the same as I did for the pavilion, and I will update you once I've made my first cuts. Got the first tier of crown facets cut. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the other 2 tiers, and I'll just speed through the process of cutting the crown because you guys already saw what I did on the pavilion. I'm gonna finish up with 600 and then pre-polish with 3000 and polish with 60,000. Then last, I'll add a flat table to the top of the stone. All right, let's go. That is it. I just finished polishing up the crown facets, and next I'm going to add a flat table to the very top. I figured since this part was different than the pavilion, I would show you guys how I did it. This gem is officially done. Time to take it off the dop and see how it turned out. I haven't looked at this gem yet. I'm gonna wait real quick. I'm gonna say the starting weight was 5 carats. Wow, 2.25. That is over 50%. That's really impressive considering this is a standard facet and I got a full pavilion and full crown on it. Okay. Oh. Oh, no way. Oh, I was hoping it would be that cool. That's why I wanted to wait. I'm seeing another color in there besides blue. I wonder if that's just from the light or if this was a bicolor stone. Let me put on my macro lens and show you what this looks like inside. I didn't get to the macro shots yet because I saw some different lighting. That is incredible. I'm gonna have to put together like a side-by-side photo collage because this stone is untreated and might change color. And look at the clarity, like fractures aside, that is a brilliant, brilliant stone. That is like everything I love about these gems. It has natural, incredible clarity and some super cool fracture inclusion lines. Like, they go pretty deep, but I wouldn't be worried about the structural stability of the stone at all. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy with how that turned out. There's a little bit of windowing in the middle, just like I predicted, but I don't think that affects how cool the stone is at all. Here she is under the macro lens. That is something else. There's what it looks like from the back for anyone curious. Wow. Oh, that came to life. I really didn't know how much clarity the stone was actually going to have, but that is even better than I hoped for. I'd never learn, I'm telling you guys. Wow. I'm very glad I found this one. Alright, you guys, I think that is going to do it for this video. This gem will be available on my website at the time this video is posted. All my other available gems will be there, and if you don't see anything you absolutely love, feel free to send me an email or a DM to any of my socials, and I can cut a piece just for you. I can also set any of my loose gems into jewelry. I can remove any stones from jewelry and sell them loose or make different settings for them. It's all up to you. These pieces are completely up to your customization. Leave a comment and let me know if you had a good time watching me facet this gem, and subscribe for more lapidary and rockhounding content. I post new videos every Tuesday and Friday. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.